We're good.
104, 7 seconds to play.
We're going to be talking basketball.
Dishes it to Barkley, who somehow finds daylight. Allen for the win! Yes!
You are now listening to the 302 Birds Sixers Postgame Show with Dennis and KJ McCoy. Proudly powered by TickPick. Let's take it to the show.
What's going on, guys? Welcome to episode 1 of the Sixers Postgame with KJ McCoy and my side host, Dennis the Menace 302 Sixers. Down in Florida. He's holding it down in Florida, still representing the Sixers and representing all Philly sports. But yeah, this is our show, and we decided to do this, and I'm glad to be hosting this with Dennis. So we're excited to get into the depressing Philadelphia 76ers. I guess we could say we're excited. The only exciting part is I get to do it with you, Dennis. So that's the only exciting part I have about this.
It's only what 5, 6 months in the making.
Yeah. Yep.
5, 6 months in the making, ladies and gentlemen. You guys know me. I'm Dennis. I used to be on the fantasy football show. Some things happened to where we had to discontinue the show, but it's all good. Your boy is back. I know I've been gone for a while. You haven't seen me on 302 Birds. I was at the Dallas game, as you saw in the blog. It was good to be back and see everybody. Yes, I'm in Florida trying to hold things down. I did finally move, doing a lot better mentally, feel a lot better. First off, right out the gate, I want to say thanks to Nick's Pizza. I know this is a big time for them right now. I got some notes that I want to bring up. Make sure you guys join the fun on March 13th, or was it 15th?
I think it's 15th, I believe.
It's March 13th or 15th. They're going to a northern Delaware to a new location. Make sure you go support those guys. Hit them up. It's a great place to watch games. We'll get you great pizza. 13th. I'm getting
13th.
text messages now. Thank you, sir. We love you. Make sure you go see Nick's. Tell him Dennis and KJ sent you from 302 Sixers. Great time to be Philly fans at the moment just because of the Eagles, because it sure in the world is not because of the Sixers.
No, not at all. Not at all. That's why I'm representing the old era right now. I can't really represent the era that's going on right now. And we're going to talk about it, obviously. But yeah, I mean, that's why I got the old school gear on. But let's get into it, though. I know you guys have been waiting to hear this. But yeah, let's get into the topics. The first topic we got actually is our good buddy, who does this actually for a living on the side as well. Podcast P, Paul George. Paul George, is he done? I mean, honestly, the stats have been awful. The guy's 36 years old. I thought the guy would honestly be way better than Tobias Harris, but I was wrong. I think all of us were wrong. We thought that the guy would actually be a good triple threat with Tyrese and Joel, and it just isn't panning out. And the guy is, some days he's playing off and on. A lot of like the NBA players nowadays, they do a lot of those rest periods and everything like that, which honestly pisses me off, but and other NBA fans as well. But yeah, I mean, with Paul George, it's unfortunate because there was a game a couple games ago. He had like 2 points. Yesterday, I believe he finished with what I saw. I think it was around, what was it?
I got it here.
You got it? Okay.
Just give me a second.
Yeah, you're good.
I mean, as far as the whole thing, Paul George had 29 minutes and he had 17 points yesterday. He was 7 for 14 field goals, 3 for 9 from 3-point. So my opinion on PG is it comes down to the fact PG is not PG of young. He's now PG of old. He's not a starting player. He's a role player. He's a bench player anymore. He is what he is. Yes, he's Paul George. He has a name. He had a reputation for being good, but he's had injuries. He's had stuff that has slowed him down. He has nagging injuries that drag him down. No, do I think he was worth the money? No, he's not worth the money that he used to be. It could have been nice for ticket sales at first because that's definitely what everybody was thinking. I think if he was moved back to as a role player from the bench, like a sixth or seventh man, I think you would see better production. But the problem with the Sixers at this point is the Sixers bench can't even put up over 50 points. They're only putting up 40. So, it's more pressure on the starters. Don't get me wrong. I have a lot of respect for PG for everything he's done in the league. He's one of the ones that I think has been dropped and just never got where he needed to or had the help. He's never had the support players. And unfortunately, you've got a starter that doesn't want to play now when you have backup finally, because the only thing that Paul George does better than Tobias Harris is pass the ball.
Yeah, that's true.
That's
more,
the only thing at this point.
More unselfish.
And he'll score on occasion. But that's just my opinion of PG.
Yeah. Yeah, it's unfortunate because I mean, right now the Sixers are at the bottom, pretty much the bottom of the standings. I mean, they're 20-35 right now. They're not even above 500 right now. I mean, they are literally like the 10th spot. They're in the 11th spot right now. So I mean, in the East,
it's not a playoff year. I mean, if we go to the playoffs, we're losing in the first round. It's not.
I mean, we know that, for sure. But it's been really unfortunate, and I mean. It's been really hard for us Sixers fans to really just like be loyal to this team. I mean, I always will be, but it's one of the toughest years. It honestly feels more tougher. I don't know about you than it was with the process years. Like it feels because I knew that we were going to be losing, but this team though, like this team should be good on paper, but they're just not, and they're just not.
And I mean that can kind of lead us into our next topic with Maxey. I mean,
right.
Is Maxey worn out? My personal opinion, he doesn't have the fire. He doesn't have the energy like he did in the beginning of the season, and that's because this team has been carried by him because PG can't stay in. But, I mean, even PG said it today that he's having to take injections before every game because he's hurt. I mean, if you're hurt, dude, then why are you playing? You're not making the playoffs this year. If you do, sit out. It's like Jared McCain. You lose Jared McCain to a torn knee. So now we're going to have a Derrick Rose issue with McCain. Can he stay healthy? How good's the knee? How good's the leg? And then you got Embiid. How good's the knee? Embiid doesn't even need to play no more this season. They just But we'll get into that later.
Yeah, we'll get into that. I mean, that's a whole different animal.
We got rookies that are coming up that are actually starting to shine. The young guys, what was the center that we drafted? He's starting to shine. Kelly Oubre is, I think, overhyped. I think he's kind of worn out his welcome. But again, like as the topic says at the bottom, you know, is Maxey worn out? And the question, I guarantee you 150% is yes.
Yeah. I would say I would agree with that. I think for the most part, though, I mean, I've heard there's rumors of him and Embiid butting heads. I mean, there were actual proof that they were butting heads at the beginning of the season. And I mean, it's two of your star players. And I mean, that's not a good sign at all. I mean, Maxey, obviously, he wants to go out there. He wants to play. He actually plays through injuries. And Embiid, I mean, he plays through injuries, but then he also just whines about it. And that's a different topic for a different, in a couple minutes, we'll talk about that. But yeah, I think it's just with Tyrese Maxey, though. And I said this to someone recently. Don't be surprised. And Stephen A. Smith said this as well. Don't be surprised if Tyrese Maxey asks for and requests for a trade next season. And I don't blame him. I won't be mad at him at all because I will not. I'm not going to hate the guy. I will not.
He's not pulling a Ben Simmons. He just wants to play.
It's not a Ben Simmons situation at all. Maxey will do what's best for his career. And if it's not in Philly, then that's fine. I mean, unfortunately, that's like I want to see him do well. And if it's not doing well here, then I wish nothing but the best of luck for him. Like I want to see him do well. So I mean, that's the sad thing is the organization. I mean, the roster around him right now I mean, the guy who's an MVP talent right now is acting like a 4-year-old. And that's just his attitude. I mean, that's the problem. And Tyrese is acting older than him, which is crazy because Tyrese is probably 7 years younger than him. Tyrese is even younger than I am. So that's a crazier thing. I think he's younger by about a year. So just the maturity that Tyrese has is crazy. And I think with Maxey, it was sad to not see him go the All-Star game, even though the All-Star game was a joke. And they need to fix that. They need to learn from the NHL, and they need to get a page out of the book.
They need
from the
to
NHL
take it back to what it used to be.
Yeah, because the NHL has the best All-Star game. And I'm not even a hockey guy, but they have the best All-Star format, and I saw that yesterday. So I think that's the thing that the NBA needs
Even
to
the
get a
slam
page
dunk
off of.
contest has become a joke.
Yeah, I mean they have to get Mac McClung, who really isn't even a full-time roster member for the Magic. He's not. They have to bring him from the G League.
And the thing is
make
the
it
Sixers
seem
had
like
him, and the Sixers let him go.
Yeah.
That kid's productive. I don't know why you let him go. Yes, he's a dunk machine. That's what he does. But kid's got IQ. None of your players on that team right now have IQ. Even if you keep him in Delaware with the sevens, it doesn't matter.
That would be cool.
Keep him there. Keep him close by. But no, you let him go to the Magic.
Right.
And he don't even do nothing for the Magic.
Yeah.
He is nothing more than a glorified dunk person that they use to push tickets. Oh, we brought Mac up today, so he'll come dunk so you guys can watch.
Yep.
That's all it is.
Pretty much. I mean, that's what, because a lot of players nowadays, I mean, it's not so flashy as it used to be. A lot of guys aren't trying to dunk anymore because they're trying to prevent injuries from their knees and everything like that. I know
players that we don't even watch. It's the ones that we don't care about. Dude, LeBron's been in the league 21, 22 years, 20 years, whatever. And the man's never touched the dunk contest, and everybody's always wanted it because he's the only one that can throw down an axe handle slam, and you feel it up in the rafters.
I mean, he just did it against the Hornets. That was insane. For a guy who's 40 years old, and he slammed on, I think it was not Marvin. It was that guy Williams I think it was, I forget his, Mark Williams. I believe that was Mark Williams. From the Hornets. I mean, he was actually supposed to get traded to the Lakers, but the trade actually.
I mean, who can forget the Jayson Terry thing up in Boston when he was with Miami? I mean, dude, you're one of the best dunkers in the game. Go do it. Zion Williamson. Zion just can't stay healthy. He's just fat and stupid. But I think the problem with Zion is that Zion doesn't want to be with the Pelicans. He wants to be somewhere else.
Yeah. Hey, maybe it's the Sixers. We'll see what happens. I mean, hopefully
maybe he'll come to the Sixers. I mean, at least if he comes to the Sixers, we'll get a player that wants to play defense.
So speaking about players, though, I mean, at the helm right now, we still have, and I don't know about you, Dennis, but we still have our head coach, and that is the former NBA champion, Nick Nurse. And a lot of people are kind of blaming him, and they're kind of saying a lot of the problem is him, which it could be. I think right now this whole organization in general is so dysfunctional. I can't even decode what the heck is wrong with
this franchise is like Ringling Brothers.
Yeah.
You might as well say Barnum and Bailey's rented out the Wells Fargo Center again because that's what it's being. It's the freaking Ringling Brothers inside Wells Fargo with no animals and nobody coming to watch it because it's not the Wells Fargo that I grew up with, or it's not the Ringling Brothers that I grew up with. It's not the Greatest Showman that Hugh Jackman was a part of. It's literally a child's daycare of who's going to cry, and then this guy won a championship, so maybe he'll be okay. No, it's not going to be okay. We're in demise. We have a stadium that we're complaining about that we want to get a new one. We want to go to Center City. Then we make a deal that we're not going to go to Center City. And you have a coach that can't tie his own shoes to probably wear slide-ons because he can't freaking tie his shoes.
Yeah. I mean, he probably was in Canada for too long, I guess.
You got bailed out by Toronto when you won up there. Yeah. You're in Philly, dude. You're not like this. I'm sorry. The Sixers have not been good since Larry Brown.
Yeah. I mean, that's probably, I mean, that is probably correct if you think about it.
Larry is the only one that could draw out a team that would make a team play. Allen Iverson, Iguodala for a little bit. Some of the others, but come on, dude. Thaddeus Young. I mean, dude, stop nursing the injury and send the nurse packing.
Yeah, well, I think with Nick Nurse too, he came into a situation where he thought that he's got some star players. He thought the star players would gel together. He thought that he could actually help them gel together. And that's actually not the actual that's not actually what's happening at all. It's dysfunctional, and it sucks because I do feel like it's half his fault and then half the players. I think it's both. I feel like there could be a coach that could honestly lead this team to a better record than it is right now. But honestly, though, it's just the players, though, and I think it just goes with the NBA in general, too. They just don't they don't have the motivation. Like we were just talking about Allen Iverson. I mean, the thing is, he's my favorite player of all time, and probably yours as well. Because I loved how he played every game like it was his last. And that's the thing and that's the difference with Embiid and Iverson, though. Embiid doesn't do that. I mean, yes, he was an MVP talent. Yes, he scored 70 points and 71 points in a game. But Embiid, though, there's just so many drama factors with him that it's aggravating to actually back him up. I don't know how people still back him up and be like, oh, you know what? I give him the pass. It's okay. He has this amount of points. It's all right. He's been injured and everything like that. But he also, though, he does the blame game with people. Like, I don't know if you saw this a couple of weeks ago. We lost the Detroit Pistons, and Joel Embiid was literally going at it at Kelly Oubre. Kelly Oubre had a good game. I believe he had like 20-plus points. He's going at it with Kelly Oubre and blaming stuff on him when it was obvious. I think it was a play where it was obviously Embiid's fault. And it's just he's always playing the blame game, and he can never take responsibility, and it shows that he is not ever going to win an NBA championship. And that's why I want both me and Dennis want the guy gone. We want Joel gone. I was hoping
the team is not disciplined whatsoever. There's no discipline with this team. Talking about Embiid, this now takes us to our next topic. Yep. We should be having a special guest here with us very shortly, but I would like to read this topic, KJ, if you don't mind.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, I have to ask you, is he the process or is he the problem?
Oh,
and
man.
It's obvious at this point. Joel, Mr. My knee hurts. Mr. I'm going to cry after the game because they booed me in Toronto. Mr. I got MVP. I'm going to go play in the Olympics, but I'm still hurt. I shouldn't play.
I play for USA, but I'm not from here.
No, you are not the process anymore. You are now the problem.
The problem.
If you are going to remain in Philadelphia, you need to go just like PG and be a role player on the bench and be like that eighth man that goes in. Your time has come to an end. Your injuries have become a problem. Your crying has become a distraction. And at this point, you're just hurting the city.
Yeah, it's aggravating with Embiid. It's been very aggravating because a lot of Sixers fans, I think majority of Sixers fans, really believed in this guy. And especially after an MVP season. And I mean, we felt proud, kind of a very similar situation with the proudness of like what we feel like with Jalen Hurts winning the Super Bowl MVP, winning a Super Bowl. But the thing is with Embiid, though, he hasn't really accomplished anything when it comes to playoffs. That's the difference. Joel Embiid likes to say that he's done a lot for the city. He's not going out in the community. He's not done what Jalen Hurts done. He's not done what Bryce Harper has done as well. So like they actually know and understand the city, where Embiid really doesn't. And then he just plays, as we said before, he plays the blame game. He complains and he talks about, well, he's like, oh, well, I hurt my pinky. Well, here's the thing. An NHL player recently talked about this, about how the NBA in general has just been, it's been dying. And it sucks to say that as a basketball fan. I hate to say that because I want to see this game be exciting again. I want to be able to be like, hey, who's your favorite team? And be able to hear all four teams and be able to hear NHL, your favorite NHL team, your favorite NFL team, your favorite MLB, and your favorite NBA team. I don't hear the NBA that much anymore. I don't know about you, but I don't hear
the fact that this guy is 30 years old and he's complaining like he's 50 is a problem.
Yeah.
Dude, I understand you're a center, you're a bigger guy, you're 7 foot, your body's going to hurt a little bit more. But as people have been stretching to you for years, Lose weight.
Right.
Lose the weight. Get yourself more. Like, I shouldn't talk because I'm fat too, but I can say it. Like, but bro, you're a fucking 7-foot NBA player. Lose weight, get better, and be you. That's it.
So you guys saw a little bit of a glimpse. Special guest right here, the man, the myth, the legend, Dalton Holland.
Well, thank you guys for having me. It's an honor to be here on the first ever Sixers Postgame Show. I appreciate you guys. You guys are crushing it. I want to point that out. I've been listening, tuning in, and I'm very proud of both you guys. This sounds awesome. But, Dennis, you're right. How is it that this guy has the joints and the body of a 50-year-old in this body? Is it because of all the Chick-fil-A he's eaten? Is it because of his attitude? Is it because of a mixture of the two? I think only God knows. But at this point, God knows that all Philadelphia fans have probably processed from Joel Embiid. The time is over. The window's over. There's no shot in hell I see Joel Embiid ever winning any NBA championship.
Yeah.
So the longer he stays on our team, the less we have of a chance of ever winning one, in my opinion.
Yeah. And unfortunately, we have the GM of Daryl Morey, who is so delusional, who just thinks that, you know what, though, we could just get it done with what we have. Embiid's an MVP talent. We don't have to move on from him. You know what? This is going to work out. What's working out about this? You're seeing right now that your plan is failing. Your plan is burning, and you're just making tweets about it, talking about crumble cookies and whatever the heck you're talking about, and going off the rails. So it's like, it's really annoying to realize that we have a GM that is just a bonehead, and he just doesn't want to see this team, this organization succeed. And he might argue and say, no, I do. But obviously you don't. Look at the record right now. We are 20 and 35 or something crazy like that. I mean, that's under 500. That's under 400. I mean, that's awful. That's bad for a team that has three all-star caliber players. I would say Paul George probably a former all-star, especially since you scored 2 points in a game or whatever. I mean, I think Dalton could probably score some more points in that game, but yeah, so that's how pathetic it is, though. It's just pathetic. But I think, as we were saying before, with Joel Embiid, I don't see how you could be a Sixers fan and you can actually defend this man when he has not defended you as a fan, and he has not gone to bat for you as a fan. I mean, us fans, we go there, we pay all this money to go watch you play. And then sometimes you don't even play. And it's just, it's a different NBA than it used to be. It's unfortunate, but it just feels like a lot of these players, though, they don't have respect for the fans. They don't have respect for the money at all that we have to spend. They just think, you know what, we get the fat paycheck, and you know what, that's good for me. But it doesn't mean that the fans get to have a good time. So that's a problem.
I have a very, very sad person that we can say that he relates to.
Oh.
Embiid has now become the final year's Yao Ming.
Yeah. That does sound like that. Yeah.
And Yao Ming used to be one of the most fun players to watch when he was young, and he could still go and he could get up and down the court for as big as he was. But the final 3 years of his career, he became that player that kept starting because of how tall he was. He couldn't move. He was dead weight at the end of the court. He literally just stayed out of the box so they didn't get the 5-second call in the paint. This is what Embiid has become.
Yeah.
At 30 years old, and when Ming retired, he was what, 35, 36?
Yeah.
What has Embiid done on the level of Yao Ming to say that he's done that? Because at this point, I could say Shaq switching away from every team that he did was in better shape and played longer and is way better than Embiid. And Embiid can shoot a 3 and foul points, and Shaq couldn't shoot.
Yeah. Well, Shaq's a way better.
But at least
Shaq's the most dominant big man of all time. He's the most dominant.
But at least Shaq would play.
Yeah, at least Shaq would play.
I'll even go as far. Chris Anderson is better than Embiid.
Birdman. Not the Birdman we know from the Eagles, but Birdman. Yeah, that's a strong take for sure.
Yes.
Yeah.
Shots fired, Embiid.
Shots fired.
Shots fired.
Oh, geez.
You're muted, Dalt. We
You're
can't
muted,
hear
Dalt.
you.
I was going to say maybe tougher. I would definitely agree with tougher right off the
tougher
bat.
for sure.
There's no competition there or heart, how much you care about the game. I would definitely agree with Birdman. Birdman was the white dude that was all tatted up, right?
Yeah. Yep. Oh, that was him. Yeah.
Was with Denver and then went to Miami.
He's the one who got catfished too.
Oh yeah,
yep.
I forgot.
The one who got catfished as well. He got catfished. I found out about that story about like a year ago, and I was like, "Wow."
I met him
was
one
shocked.
time. I was living down in South Florida, and he was.
Did you catfish him, Dennis?
Huh?
Did you catfish him?
Dennis was fishing for catfish, probably, but not those catfish. Not those catfish.
No. I was actually going to the Hard Rock Casino. We had went to the Hooters at the Hard Rock down there in Fort Lauderdale.
Oh yeah.
And him and the other young guy at the time, I forget who it was, they were doing an autograph signing there. And I'm like, yo, is that Chris Anderson? And he's like, yeah, that's me. Dap me up, cool as could be. And I'm not going to ask the man for an autograph. He's already going to sign a bunch. The fact that he took the time out of his day just to shake my hand, say what's up, like that was cool enough.
Yeah.
Embiid don't even want to do that. Embiid don't want to be messed with. He don't want to talk to us. He doesn't want to acknowledge. Embiid does not care about the fans. Process or problem. Final answer. He is the problem. Embiid, you are not the father. You are the problem. Leave. Go away.
Get out of here.
Bye-bye.
Right.
Bye-bye.
You Ben Simmons knockoff.
Yeah. Ben Simmons knockoff. I mean, it is honestly like a Ben Simmons situation again. The problem is though, I think he's stuck. Though that's the thing. Like we are stuck with Joel. Unfortunately, the contract is too bearing. It's too bearing, and it should have never happened this summer. I mean, Morey signed that contract, and it was honestly sentencing the organization. It was sentencing the team to death, pretty much, and to misery and depression. That's what it has done to this team and this organization and this fan base.
Who said that?
Wait, someone said
I was going to ask you guys that. Would you ever want Ben Simmons back?
No.
Are you out of your mind?
No. Never.
Like if you could,
Never.
Let me ask you this question. Let me rephrase it. I'm not saying just bring Ben Simmons in, but if I told you getting Ben Simmons on this team would get Embiid out somehow, would you take that move?
I'd take Lou Williams.
Do you feel like you could win a championship? Do you feel like you have a better shot of winning a championship with Simmons on your team and Embiid off your team, or Embiid on your roster, just dead weight, dead money?
I think you worsen it. I think it worsens the blow. Honestly, I think Ben Simmons is still more injury prone than Embiid. I think it would and I think the fans are just so over Ben Simmons to the point that they wouldn't even go to games. I think it would be a dead strike of,
oh yeah,
if he's here, we're not here.
Yeah, I think it would be a dead strike. I think it would be like what's going on with Dallas right now with the Mavericks. I mean, you got fans with actual like signs and picket fences or whatever they got out there, saying that the Dallas Mavericks traded away their franchise, which they did. But I mean, he's not doing so well in LA right now. I mean, I'm on strike. I'm on strike with the Sixers just because we've got a dog instead of a rabbit. It should be hip hop, not Franklin. Yeah.
It should be freaking hip hop.
Bring back
bring back hip hop.
Well, hey, I'm gonna hop on here real quick, but I just want to thank KJ and Dennis for letting me jump on here on their post game for the Sixers. They're going to be covering the Sixers the rest of the season long. Who knows? Maybe they are the foot up the butt that the Sixers needed all season long. Maybe they'll get their act together now. Truthfully, maybe they will, and maybe they'll turn it around. I doubt it. But regardless, what I don't doubt is that you guys will have great coverage with two of the best personalities in the game. So I want to thank both of you guys for doing it on here. I was watching actually downstairs, and I said to Alyssa, I was like, they're crushing it. Like, they're naturals. You guys are seriously doing a great job. So thank you guys both. It was a pleasure for jumping on here. And get rid of Embiid.
Hey, you can't leave yet. Come back here. You can't leave yet. No, I have one more thing for him because I haven't talked to him about Super Bowl stuff. Dalton. Screw Reed Blankenship.
You can't say that now. You literally can't. He's a Super Bowl starting.
He's a champion.
And Sidney
You know
Brown
what
is a Super Bowl champion too, so bite me.
I'm sorry, all the basketball fans out there, but we
we're
got
gonna
to
have
talk about the
to
Birds a
take off
little
the
bit.
old patch and put a new one on with McCoy vintage over there. I know a guy.
Yep,
that can
yep. We could do that. We can work on that.
Oh,
We can work on that. I'll talk to the
All
dry
right.
cleaners. They'll see.
So
we'll
listen,
see
we
what
said
can do.
hi, man. We love you, bro.
I love you guys too. Seriously, thank
see
you
you
guys.
guys.
Great show, and
course.
hopefully you guys can bring another trophy to this city one way or another. Okay.
All right, man.
What, like a participation trophy or something, or what? Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Well, no, not us. That's a Sixers. They'll
talked
get a
about the
participation
Sixers.
trophy. That's what
You
will
guys
happen.
will have great coverage. I'll guarantee that. And if we want to go to a game, $5 tickets. I'll see you guys.
All right,
See ya. There he
KJ,
is. The
before
man
we
behind
close
all
it out,
this.
I know you.
What's up?
So before we close this out, I'll let
Yes.
you say something after this, and then I've got a nice closing line to end this whole thing.
Of course.
Brother, thank you again for doing this with me. I appreciate you. God bless you, man. It was a blessing to finally meet you and see you in person at the Dallas game. Cool, again, dude, your family, you ever need me, I appreciate you. God bless you. Dalton, God bless you. Ash, Jack, everybody at 302, Shardy, Fratty when he doesn't do Fratty stuff. Love you, Fratty.
We love you, Friday. We love you, man. The Italian stallion.
Go Birds. But I know there's a few things you want to say, and then I got a nice closing line, and we'll hit the outro and we'll get out of here. Yeah,
no, I mean, this is a great episode 1. I mean, we're kind of just starting off things here pretty much, and kind of just like kicking things off and kind of getting the show started. I can't even talk right now. But yeah, it's been a lot of fun, even though having and covering this depressing squad that we have to cover. The good thing, as I said before, though, I get to do it with Dennis. I mean, that's a cool thing. Me and Dennis have always got along. I mean, we've always had a lot of respect for each other. So it's awesome to call my my podcast brother, and I'm excited for the journey. And hopefully, as Dalt said before, maybe we're the good luck charms. Maybe we're the stick up. Maybe we're the stick that pokes them enough to wake them up. Maybe we are. I don't know. Hopefully, we are. We hope so. Or wakes up Embiid. Maybe we get some hammer and just whack him on the head or something like that.
Freaking whack-a-mole.
Yeah, I bet you I can see Dennis at the arcade. I can see my Dave and Buster's, and we'll put little whack Joel. He'll play the whack Joel game. I'll be there with him too. And we'll put a little bonus Ben Simmons right there too. A little bonus little Simmons mole or whatever. Whack a Simmons. But
500 points if you hit Ben Simmons.
Yeah, 500, dude. More points than he's ever had for the Sixers. So
but I got a phone call I gotta make. Hold on 1 second. Hey Jack, it's an outro, not an intro. Play that motherfucking outro.
Oh wait, there we go.
104, 7 seconds to play.
We're going to be talking basketball.
Dishes it to Barkley, who somehow finds daylight.